everyone, Alexandra here again. So, a lot of my clients have been starting to obsess with this idea of building backlinks for their business. So, if last year everyone was really into, launching a content strategy as early on as possible, this year it's all about link building. Now, when you actually look at the market, there's not really a strong demand for these links. Instead, what you want is to really get yourself as a founder, as a professional, as well as your company in front of a larger audience. Now, you don't always need a link per se. A brand mention or just your name in there can be, just as good as the link. Now, there's a couple of situations when a link is helpful, if you will. It definitely helps you build your brand authority. It helps you just grow your domain authority so that in time, the content that you publish has a higher chance of ranking higher and also getting in front of more people. That it's obviously helpful. And in most situations, when you are planning to build backlinks to your website, this is the goal that you need to keep in mind. And that is not building authority for Google, but actually getting people to your website. So making full use of that backlink. So if you are going to reach out to a website, so to a blogger, to a website owner, whatever, make sure that you get a high quality backlink. So I'm going to take you through kind of the types of backlinks that you need to consider. Generally, there's two strategies. One of them is just publishing content and getting organic backlinks to it. So in my case in the past, that was my main goal. Publishing high quality content that would get backlinks naturally, organically. So this is the best case scenario because usually the backlinks you get without asking anyone for them are the most important ones because they come from real thought leaders, big websites, and really just about anyone who considers that your article is the go-to reading piece on that topic. Now, the second approach, and the one that you might want to consider at the beginning, is doing the link building yourself. So, looking back at my past experience, what works best is offering your tips and basically offering quotes to bloggers, PR professionals, writers, any kind of marketer who needs some content, aka these quotes, aka your thoughts on a topic. So for this, you can use websites like Help a B2B Writer or Help a Reporter Out to receive emails on a daily basis with opportunities. Now, most of these are not going to be relevant for your business, so you really need to, skim through them and find the ones that suit your industry. And then you will basically provide a quote. Essentially, you want to be able to give high quality tips, not just general stuff, because if you opt for the general quote, your quote, aka your contribution, is not going to get picked. So when you decide to offer these high quality quotes, there's a high chance that the blogger, writer, whatever, will pick your quote. And once this quote is added to an article or to a guide, you get that backlink, plus you showcase your expertise in an industry. So for instance, this is how I personally grew my own website. And I think when I was working with a project management tool, it helped with a couple of extra domain authority points. Now, the second most common and only sometimes efficient strategy is guest posting. Getting guest posts on just about any website, like another SaaS tool or a small business blog, is relatively easy if the website is not yet popular. So if the product is just, getting started, if the website's domain authority is also relatively low, then what you're doing essentially is just getting the backlink. As a rule, you want to aim for websites with a high domain authority. And also, you want more than just a guest post. Number one thing is you want maybe organic backlinks. So maybe working with a partner like another SaaS company so they can offer you a spot in one of their articles. Or maybe you want to have a webinar, a podcast, a newsletter sponsorship with them. All of these situations offer you a backlink in return. But again, I would definitely start with, let's just say there's three different types of websites. There's the ones that, they're just getting started. Targeting those will be roughly a waste of time because those backlinks don't help you a lot. Then there's the big companies, like the high authority ones, which most of the time will not answer you if you want a guest post on their website, but it's still worth a shot occasionally. And then there's the mid-range websites. So you definitely want to go for those first because they offer you some kind of link juice, aka quality of the link, if you will, and also maybe some traffic both for this situation. So when you're doing guest posting or sponsored posts, by the way, the sponsored post situation is when you pay for that article. In some cases, it's worth it. So if it's like a big website where they only do sponsored posts as opposed to guest posting, then it's definitely worth going for that payment if and only if their readership and if they can provide proof on their readership. So if their readership is your exact ICP, so your target market. For both this situation when you're doing the guest posting and also for when you're doing the manual link building, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. Basically, the most popular situation that happens with most companies that are famous for doing link building is that they have 5, 10 people responsible just for the outreach. So everything they do all day long is sending emails to other SaaS companies, other blogs, industry outlets, news websites, whatever, to get a backlink. So you can get a backlink in a new article or even an older article where maybe a backlink they already have is not working. So it's returning like an error or it's redirecting to something that's not relevant for the current article. Or maybe it's just a list of tools. No matter the situation, there's, again, the number one thing you need to keep in mind is you mostly want backlinks from higher authority websites, so mid to high authority when it comes to the domain. Then you definitely want to make sure that all of these websites are from within your industry. So if you work for a HR tech tool, you want to get links from other SaaS tools in the space, from recruitment agencies, professionals like recruiters, HR managers who have their own blogs, and then not from a website talking about pet food or whatever. Then the other thing that's super important, and from my experience, there's definitely huge differences you can see when you start applying this strategy, is actually dictating where you want that backlink to be. Because, for example, if you're going to submit your tool to an article that's like 10 best project management tools, you do not want your tool to be the last in the list. So ideally, maybe you can work with the owners of the website to get your tool a bit higher. Or I've had situations like this where somebody would reach out to me for a backlink exchange. Now, generally, I don't recommend exchanging backlinks. The only situation in which you can accept these backlinks is when the website that reaches out to you has a really high domain authority, and again, make sure that their industry and ICP is relevant. So I've had one situation like this, and the respective team reached out to me for a link exchange opportunity. So what I did was I went over all of the content they had on their website, specifically their top pages. So you can go to Ahrefs, SEMrush, whatever, and go to top pages to see really what their most popular pages are, because those are the ones that get the most traffic. So number one thing is you want a backlink from a page that is getting a lot of traffic. And then the second important thing, if you really want more than just the backlink, aka you also want the traffic and ultimately the leads and the sales on your end as well. So what you should do is ask for a backlink as high as possible. So in my case, I try to go for the first paragraph. There's multiple situations. One, you can opt for a backlink in the first paragraph or a backlink in a popular paragraph. So for instance, if it's an article like one that's focused on giving out the definition, like what is email marketing, you might want your backlink under the what is email marketing heading essentially. So just think about whenever you look at an article, which section is the most read one in that article. And that's where you want your backlink. So I've definitely had situations where I did the, either just link building or a link exchange, but this partner, if you will, later on went and deleted the backlink they gave us. So the thing is, you also need to keep track of these backlinks because you might lose them in favor of, them going out to somebody else who also wants a backlink in that same spot. So it's definitely a tricky situation. To conclude, I would not obsess a lot about link building. Again, the most fortunate situation is when you get these backlinks organically. So you're not doing the actual link building yourself. Now, if you really do want to strengthen your position in the market, again, focus on getting your thought leadership, your expertise in the industry out there, either by providing a quote, writing guest posts, sponsored posts, and then start thinking about actually doing the link building. But before you even do the manual reaching out, build links with your partners. Again, have a guest post exchange, go on a webinar, sponsor a newsletter, anything like this. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will talk to you soon. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below and I will get back to them. See ya.